For many, the ocean is filled with wonder, from the great giants of the ocean to the tiny coral polyps that construct elaborate underwater cities. The oceans never cease to inspire wonder. However, the ocean's situation is dire. Compounding effects of global warming, pollution, ocean acidity, invasive species, and overfishing all serve to be causing one of the most monumental mass extinction events of our time.
The UN has set forth international guidelines known as the Sustainable Development Goals. As a group, we have chosen to focus on the coral reef systems in our ocean and address the UN's 14.2 target of sustainably manage and protect marine and coastal ecosystems to avoid significant adverse impacts, including strengthening their resilience and taking action for their restoration in order to achieve healthy and productive oceans. Now come take a dive with me while we answer the question, what is coral? Corals are a diverse species of marine life consisting of a symbiotic relationship between the coral polyp and the zooxanthellae. They are made up of various subspecies such as stony or hard, soft and deep sea corals, to mention a few, with hard or stony corals being what constructs our reef systems.
The colourful, vibrant coral reefs, which we all know, all rely on zooxanthellae, which are phototropic algae that undergo the process of photosynthesis. By absorbing sunlight to synthesize energy in the form of glucose, and then further converting it into adenosine triphosphate, also known as ATP. This is used in the process of cellular respiration. This happens within the chloroplast organelles commonly found within eukaryotic plant cells. The rock-like exoskeleton is created by coral polyps that secrete calcium carbonate. The process occurs by the polyp taking in carbon from algae and seawater and then converting it into calcium carbonate.
It is this vital process in the formation of coral reefs which is under threat. Approximately 34 billion tonnes of CO2 is emitted each year, with about 30% dissolving into the seawater. CO2 absorption has increased the ocean acidity and the formation of carbonic acids. Now, while only being a weak acid, it works in the same way by releasing hydrogen ions into the ocean. This hydrogen ion changes the chemistry of the ocean by having a greater attraction to carbonate than calcium, leaving shell-building organisms needing to expend more energy or unable to extract the carbonate they need to create their shells or their reef structures. This may limit corals' future growth while simultaneously weakening the current reef structure. Now, while some coral reefs have shown an ability to adapt, there is a fear that this relatively quick change in ocean chemistry doesn't give corals and marine life as a whole much time to adapt. While humanity might find it difficult to see the impacts immediately, they could be immense, with possibilities of severe impacts to coastal economies, food security, biodiversity, and protection from damaging waves. So, what is being done to address these global issues?
Scientists are currently working on methods that improve genetic diversity within coral populations. This in turn has a greater ability to improve resilience of coral due to processes of assisted evolution and relocation. Whilst these processes will help improve resilience in corals, it is in research into seaweed and algae that is a potential game changer for our oceans. Studies show that seaweed, like land plants, undergo photosynthesis, a chemical process using carbon dioxide and water to produce biomass. Therefore, the more CO2 in the ocean undergoing photosynthesis within seaweed, the less CO2 turning into HCO3+, which is the primary cause of ocean acidification. Our solution to this would be a large-scale seaweed farm, which will be planted around areas of high coral concentration. The aim will not only be to help lower CO2 levels within the water, but also may protect the coral from harsh environmental conditions. This will work alongside the restoration programs to give coral more time to adapt to the changing environmental conditions. Some of the concerns of our solution include seaweed becoming invasive and competing with local marine vegetation, changing water movement, potentially carrying pathogens and parasites causing disease in other organisms, or changing local seaweed genetic structures, causing a loss in genetic diversity. However, could the benefits outweigh the risk? Seaweed not only has many benefits for our ecosystem, but also for us as humans. It can be used as a sustainable source of nutritious food, biofuel, or bio-friendly plastics.
There is a lot of positive work being done to sustainably manage and protect marine ecosystems and improve their resilience. However, a lot of these fixes only act as a band-aid to the global need of reducing our emissions.
While the situation is concerning, it isn't at a loss. It's up to all of us, and you, yes you, sitting there in the science lab, to take control of our situation and save our ocean.